right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Finals League of Legends DragonCon 2018 tournament. We've got our final teams, Cho'Gath Eats the World versus League of Hunters. Both these teams have spent most of the entire afternoon fighting their way through the ranks to get to this final match. They're getting ready. Where's the Imagine Dragons? Don't worry, it was played earlier, but we'll play it again for you. We are about to get into game. At this point, we've seen these two teams play again and again. Who do you think has a really solid chance of winning it?
League of Hunters macro has really won me over. I think that they have a strong edge based on game understanding alone. The caveat to that is if Velkush gets a strong pick, because oh my gosh, this man has taken over every single game he's been a part of. At one point or another, he just pops off on these mid lane mages. So I'm looking, if you are on the opposite side, Cho'Gath Eats the World is, League of Hunters is going to have to focus ban every single mid laner this guy plays, or they might just lose the game straight off of superior play out of Velkush. He has been incredibly convincing on these champions. So if it comes down to a macro game, I think League of Hunters has the edge. If it comes down to a team fighting game with lots of damage and mechanics, I think that Velkush in particular, but a few other members of Cho'Gath Eats the World could definitely take an edge.
Will somebody pick Cho'Gath already? We'll find out in just a moment. Looks like both teams are set, so we'll be just a moment getting into game number 1 of the final series. I agree that Hunters has looked really, really solid. Cho'Gath Eats the World, though, has consistently snuck their way into finding victories. And keep in mind that this is the best of 5. So not only do you have to beat 1, but you have to beat them at least 3 times. And if Cho'Gath continues to find ways to sneak wins, there's potential of taking it into, say, a Game 5 and a 1 team fight. I love the cannon ban early, though. League of Hunters showed their prowess on that champion last time around, and Taco Air is the man to watch this game around. It has been the League of mid laners.
Yeah, so seriously, League of mid laners has been right. Taco Air single-handedly turning around his game against Dank Memes with 2 crucial flash ultimates. Absolutely dominate. The Victor taken away. Will the Vel'Koz follow? That's the question. Because if it doesn't, I guarantee you Velkush is going to get that first pick for him.
Alright, Talia banned away as well. We're going to keep seeing these mid laners be hit again.
There it is.
Vel'Koz knocked out. But that means that there are other champions these players have played before that are still options. The Yasuo ban I was about to mention for Flowers and Edo's played him twice in the top lane. Not to the greatest of effect, but still fairly good. So it will be banned against him. He'll have to be on something else up there.
Yep. And the Malphite taken away. A good ban, because that is actually what won Cho'Gath Eats the World the game. Iman is picking up the Jinx for the 3rd time in a row. Most likely has learned to use minigun form, so this is good. So Taco Air now hovering. He's going to be in that mid lane. Will he defer the pick, or will he first pick the mid lane or get something strong and then focus the other bands down onto Velkush? It's the Kassadin hovered in.
Well, nope, decides to pick up that Nami.
It's the Nami hovered in.
Will we see a Jhin pairing? They loved that pairing before. Nope, they're going to go for Evelyn in that assassination. So they're just going to grab their support, hopefully get some better counter picks later on.
Yeah, so Evelyn, if you remember from Game 1, was a key part in League of Hunters' victory in Game 1. So that slipping through is something that the mid lane, drawing all those bans, you have to factor it in now, because the Evelyn was a critical part. Graceful Tank picking up Sion. I believe we've seen Sion once
Their
today.
first game, I think, Cho'Gath Eats the World played Sion on the top side, and his layering of CC was really solid. An ultimate to get a knock-up, into a Q to get a second knock-up, and with 1 teammate, we're able to layer Aurelion Soul? Velkush coming out with the Aurelion Soul.
Him out. One of the highest skill mid lane champions. If you can execute this properly, he's incredibly powerful and has impact on all lanes. If you can't, he is worthless and you will feed.
All right, Alawi picked up by the side of League of Hunters. They want that strong team-fighting champion on their side. I believe Dank of Memes played it in their second game in the semifinals, and it was strong, but didn't quite decimate. So this time around, Flowers Vito picks it up versus the Scion, as LeBlanc banned away, the Janna banned from League of Hunters as well, just continuing to force Cho'Gath Eats the World to play on something that they're unfamiliar with.
Quite so. Now the thing is, this Aurelian Soul, this very bold first pick, and while they do have 2 bans to force down to that mid lane, I would be... Oh, and okay, the Ashe banned away.
There you go.
It's really bold. It depends on who they pick up.
Oh,
the Teemo?
Is it the Teemo? Or are they hovering for the memes?
Is it Teemo or is it Mimo?
Teemo
we will see.
into Jinx is fairly strong. That blind is really good at being able to... No, I'm just saying...
Don't tell them that.
I'm saying late game fights, 1 blind would be really good. But it is a virus that is picked up. League of Hunters go for that carry. Really good at being able to layer that CC down, as well as just has really good wave clear pressure early on.
Yeah, so Khaleesi hovering over that Tark, which did so much work for them in the second game. The Varus has been picked up by Insane Butters. We haven't seen this pick really do that much, except for throw ultimates. It's not an ADC meta, but...
Ooh, the Fiddlesticks!
The Fiddlesticks!
Jungle, Fear 1. He has played really solid games so far, and that's what he was on the Malphite last game, and his ultimates were crucial. This time, not on knockups, instead on the just raging damage inside that Crow Storm. We'll see what Fiddlesticks can pull out. Fear 1 picking that up as Zoe, the first Zoe of the tournament, picked up by Pitchy Cake for the side of League of Hunters as they trade around, making sure that they get the right champions for the game.
Okay, so this is the serious call-outs in mid lane. We've got Velkush sporting the Aurelian Soul and Tico Air on Zoe, both high-skill champions, except for Zoe is a middle-skill champion. If you can land auto attacks, she'll be fine. But Aurelian Soul, I do think, has a laning advantage against her. Better wave clear, and Zoe seems mobile, but she's really not that mobile. And as it was brought up in the chat, what better champion to play at DragonCon than the Celestial Dragon himself?
Absolutely, pairing that up nicely as we start to get into game. Let's go ahead and roll for the players and the champions. Game 1 of the finals. Keep in mind there are prize money on the line for these teams for whoever wins first place, as it is Team Cho'Gath Eats the World back again. I mentioned on this Jinx for a 3rd time in a row. Graceful Tank taking a new face in the top lane as the Scion. Velkush forced onto the Aurelian Soul. We'll see how he does as Khaleesi 3 taking the Taric support. And Fear 1, this is the guy I want to watch, Fiddlesticks in the jungle.
Yeah, so for League of Hunters, we've got Tico Air on Zoe in the mid lane. YI037 on Evelyn in the jungle. Flowers of Edo on Alawi in the top lane. Insane Butters taking Varus once again in the bottom lane. And Pikachu on Nami in the bottom lane supportive role. So, these compositions, I'm going to drop compositions this time. We're going to talk about players to watch. We've seen enough of these games to know that composition doesn't mean that much. We've seen compositions that should have Raffle stomped, be completely thrown out of the window, destroyed by the chaos compositions, but time and time again, these players have shown up. I want eyes on Velkush, eyes on Tico Air in the middle lanes, eyes on Fear 1 in the jungle, and II037 on Evelyn. These have been your show-up players. Now, we've had other people play well. Notably, the supports for both teams have done fairly well for themselves. Khaleesi landing some key ultimates, and Pikachu on Nami managing to land some also key ultimates of a different sort. So, the thing is, but we're really watching these damage carries. We're looking for the ganks. Where's the pressure gonna come through? I'm hoping to see ganks focus toward the mid lane. We've noticed that the ADCs have not been carrying the game, and it hasn't gone to late game so much. So I'm watching for the roams, and I'm watching for the ganks from the jungle to the mid laner, and the mid lane to top and bot lane.
And talking about roams, Cho'Gath Eats the World has an Aurelion Soul. He's one of those king roamers. He can float over all of the map terrain to hit one of those side lanes. Zoe, not the fastest to roam. Sure, her Sleepy Bubble can travel over lanes and is pretty darn good, but still not the quickest on being able to roam from lane to lane. We'll see if Taco Air, though I've been corrected a little bit as teammates just call him Taco for short.
Taco.
But we can tell him Taco or Taco Air, doesn't really matter either way. We'll see how he does this 2 games in a row to get to the finals. Has helped bottom lane again and again to get carried and pushed through. We'll see if he does it this time around, as the Cho'Gath Eats the World plays a lot more slower paced. They're a steadier team. And that's one of the things I like about taking the Zoe for League of Hunters. They're the chaos team. They're the team fight team. They're the one who's just constantly, going in. They've got racking up those kills. Zoe is a great champion to do that, to cause that general chaos. We need to find out, though. Can Cho'Gath Eats the World take that pressure, consume it, and then just slowly play the way that they play, get those objectives, take the turrets? Or do they crumble, and League of Hunters, with that Evelynn in the jungle, hunt them down one by one, and Cho'Gath Eats the World may crumble underneath that pressure?
Yeah. Pointed out in the chat, Cho'Gath Eats the World has really good engage. Scion can engage, Aurelion Soul can engage, but they also have crazy, insane, ridiculous team fighting ability. The fear and the ultimate from the Fiddlesticks coming out of the Fog of War, covered by the Tart ultimate. Watch for that in the game. If it's correctly coordinated, you have an absolutely immortal Fiddlesticks throwing crows all through your team and fearing your most important player.
Alright, number 1 of the finals. Cho'Gath Eats the World. I say versus the world, but Cho'Gath Eats the World versus League of Hunters. Game 1 of potentially 5, depending on how these games go. Both teams, again, playing on the safe side, using their own bodies as wards to keep some vision towards the river. Fiddlesticks looks like to be starting red.
And this is going to be just standard starts from the teams. Once again, we've only had one attempt at an invade, which did not pan out. And now we're just looking for safe. Everybody, they know there's cash on the line now. The $600 prize is within sight. It could be a 3-0. It could go to a 5-game series. But they see, this is it. This is where we set the tone.
Every game matters. Again, yeah, sure, you can drop 2 games, but you don't want to be that team that has to win 3-0 to be able to get into to finish the finals. You don't want to be that team. You want to start off strong. You want to show your confidence. You want to be able to take those first games. And really, it's League of Tilt, guys. We all know what it is to lose 1, to lose 2 games. It's so hard to come back mentally after being crushed twice. We'll see if either of these teams can manage it. Again, keep an eye on these mid laners. Aurelion Soul versus that Zoe.
Mid laners and junglers, Jake. I think that's where the action's going to happen. I spent the first couple of games watching the bot lane, as that's normally where the late game carries come from. But we haven't seen that pan out in this entire series. So right now, I'm going to have eyes on jungle. Who rotates where? Eyes on mid lane. I'm really expecting this Aurelion Soul to go top a lot.
Yeah, if you get Scion rolling, it can go really well for you, regardless whether he gets the kills or not. Just having that pressure, body slam for slam. It looks like Graceful Tank, though, is going to be on the losing end of that trade. Down to half health, he's going to have to back off. Started that Doran's shield, trying to absorb some of that pressure of Flowers and Ito. And again, this is the first time we've seen his Alawi, so maybe it's a pocket pick. We'll find out, depending on how well he does.
Yeah. Alawi, definitely a powerful pick in the top lane. I don't know how it's going to work into this game, though. It doesn't seem like a cohesive pick to this team comp, but once again, this is the Chaos team. As we've said before, League of Hunters not so much concerned about their composition as they are about their execution of it.
I just wanted to show very briefly, red team, 3 wards in the river. They know if the jungler is going to come through, but it looked like Fiddlesticks just said hi to the top lane. It looks like they're going to be going in onto the Fiddlesticks. That's going to be 0-1-3, forcing Fear 1 to jump over the wall, using that flash to escape. A little bit of an early engage from Fiddlesticks in that ward. Those early wards from League of Hunters paying off on the bottom side. I mentioned getting a couple rockets down onto the Varus, but just trading that damage back and forth, Alawi in the top lane. 1v1 against Graceful Tank. He has no mana, so needs to play on the safe side, but to be fair, Flowers of Vito has very, very little as well.
This is the least interesting fight I've seen in a long time.
Well, Alawi goes back in. Graceful Tank knocked down to 200. He's just going to be slamming down some tentacles to see how all that goes. This time around, Alawi on a different player is not taking Klepto, so won't have quite the sustain that we saw previously. Another test of Spirit, going to be getting a little bit of damage down. Mid lane, fairly quiet so far, just a bit of a farming between these two. Both started corrupting potions, so they really want to land some of those autos when they're drinking those potions. But help being up looks to be a respectful farm lane for these two.
Yeah, so in the bot lane, what the?
As I say that, Go Air comes in, throws an Ignite super early. That was not Zoe's actual Ignite. That was one that she picked up off of a minion. Just to get a little aggression onto Velcrush. He actually takes Ignite as well. So both these Middlers are looking for kills. Flash Ignite on each of them. Who? Could this answer the question? Flash D or Flash F? Zoe's got it on Flash F. Velcrush has it on Flash D. Maybe we'll find out. Fiddlesticks coming around the top side, doesn't have his ultimate, but could be engaging here with that Crow, trying to look for a silence down. Nami, though, I think just gave a little bit of a heal to the Varus to speed him out of harm's way, and Fiddlesticks engage just kind of falters.
Yeah, unfortunate.
He's seen by the minion.
One award. Okay, here's a little tip that you may or may not know. If the minions aggro on you when you're in a bush, that means there's a ward in it.
Oh, bubble onto Jinx. This might be Mensch just taking a pretty good bit of damage. Zoe's come down to the bot lane, so has Evelyn. But that gives Aurelion Sol time to push the mid lane. Pushes that minion wave in and backs, so he's at nearly a 10 farm lead over this Zoe. A lot of pressure from League of Hunters, doesn't get much. So far, first roam from the mid lane of Hunters absorbed by Cho'Gath Eats the World.
Yeah, and the thing is, Zoe doesn't have the ability to push that wave quickly. So, Aurelion Sol really at this point, with his E-up, he could roam back to mid lane and not lose anything for that quick push, whereas Zoe didn't gain anything for going down there, absolutely nothing. So definitely advantage Aurelion Sol in the mid lane right now.
Flowers of Vito knocked down to half. Graceful Tank here as well. Trying to get the harass down. He's going to take some harass back. I think he might have missed the cannon. So at this point, Cho'Gath Eats the World is kind of winning. Not necessarily in gold, though they are 200 gold up, but mostly in the fact that they are playing that slow game they like to play. They're trying to rotate around those objectives, but mostly they're just absorbing the pressure from League of Hunters. They've got the late game Jinx that wants to hypercarry. They've got Fiddlesticks who's not died yet, which is always a good thing. Fiddlesticks, one of those classically squishy junglers that you can often invade and try to assassinate or kill. Looks like Zoe has another Ignite.
Yeah, comment on Fear 1. Now counter, or pardon me, not Fear 1. The Evelyn is now counter jungling into Fiddlesticks jungle, hovering around the top side. Graceful Tank, he doesn't see him.
Oh, 3-7. Will the charm land? He doesn't have any mana, so he will get charmed back into the Lowy. He's just going to drop him down pretty low, force him to recall. He's already burned his teleport,
and
so this should be a bit of a loss on minion farm. He decides to stick around, though. Oh, he's dealing with the tentacles. That's why he can't back.
Yeah. That delays his back even further. Alawi pushing him back. He's going to walk all the way back and recall. So she's going to get the chance to shove this wave in and then get a perfect recall. Or is she going to try and push another wave and hit the tower?
Ooh, Mench's nice rotations between those rockets and auto attacks. Oh, so coming into the mid lane, the charm may land on Velcrush. Hasn't quite gone down yet. Now Zoe inside of those stars, swirling around. The sleepy time will land. Velcrush goes down. First blood to Evelyn. And 0037 strikes for League of Hunters to get on the first kill.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, wait, and the ult back to lane. Flowers of Edo overstays his welcome. Graceful Tank going in. He knows that Flowers of Edo has no mana. He's going to continue walking forward, but he gets outside of the slow. Does he land the knockup? No, not quite. The slow comes down. Flowers of Edo jumps back in for no reason at all. That might spell his death. Graceful Tank goes underneath the tower. The flash doesn't get the kill. So
close. Graceful Tank invests so much. He had flash. He could have flashed into the turret to pick up that kill. As it is, Alawi will live. And she has teleport to get back to lane. So a ton of pressure. And Cho'Gath actually lost a handful of minions during that time while he was chasing the Alawi down. So not much gained there, but still looked totally awesome. As gold is still even between these two teams.
Yeah, so in the bottom lane, 61 to 62. Farm completely even. Absolutely nothing has happened there. So Insane Butters farming up well, pressuring with this particular champion. Fear 1 comes bot lane, but he is spotted out, so nothing going to come of that. They're playing a little bit further back, respecting the fact that there's a Fiddlesticks that can just come flying over the wall at any point.
All right, it is an Ocean Drake to start us off, so neither team rushing to get there. But again, that on your tank, the Alawi or the Scion, could be massive. As well as I like it on the side of Cho'Gath Eats the World for that Taric. And it will give mana to the Fiddlesticks, who needs that desperately in the jungle to be able to keep pressure as he comes to the bottom lane. He is level 6, so he could look for an ultimate, but it looks like League of Hunters saw him on a ward, so they're going to ping him out. They are aware that he is there. I'm going to actually jump down there as he walks right through the lane. Zoe here as well. Closes sleepy time. Drowsy will land onto the Taric. Comes in, zaps him down low.
There's the
ultimate forced by Taric. That is super early. No one else has it. It is completely gone to waste. As Varus runs the ultimate, he's got the lockdown on the Jinx. Dropping her down to have Nami ultimate. She's going to knock up Nope. Zap is down at Evelyn around the corner. No, Evelyn's on the top side. She's going in. Picks out the Scion. Who grows door from the Fiddlesticks. The Super Mega Death Rocket is going to miss. That could have been death on an Insane Butters. Fear 1 bolt. The Varus has been able to hit everyone. Flashing forward to go air once. The last bit of damage on Dimensions. Throws down the exhaust as well. Flashes back and forth. Second flash. Insane Butters sealed from the Nami as well. So we'll survive on the bottom side. 1 kill to 4, as 3 more kills were picked up by League of Hunters bottom lane.
Tico Air popping off on this champion. So many summoner spells burned. She goes forward initially, lands the harass, forces out the Taric ultimate, and then the summoner spell starts falling, and that's when Zoe takes over. She jumps from 1 flash to a 2nd flash, gets closer, drops exhaust and ignite onto the same target, lands both skill shots.
Ion coming to the bottom side, charges right through the minions. Graceful Tank gonna get 3-man knockup. Is he gonna try to fight this out?
No.
Only 1 minion to defend. Sleepy time slows him down. He's extremely low. Zoe Q, Battlestar just shy. Fear 1 flashes forward, gets the Fear onto the Varus. Can he take him out himself? He's trying to get the heal down. The smite drops the same, but it's so low. Insanely low even, but he still continues to live. And Cho'Gath Eats the World is throwing themselves at League of Hunters and dying again and again.
Yeah. Very well played by Tico Air in particular there. Using all of the summoner spells, they keep hitting the ground, those flashes to block skill shots. The heads up play is amazing, and they're not done yet. 037 goes in for just a little bit of harass, but I think just about everybody's tapped out.
Now, during that whole time, Aurelion Sol was farming the mid lane. 89 farms to the 67 on Zoe, but Zoe is 2-0-2. Still has yet to complete her first item, but I would rather be that Zoe popping off on the bottom side than an Aurelion Sol just picking up a little bit of farm. The Rod of Ages will nicely stack up though.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with you, Jake. Zoe much more impactful right now. While Aurelion Sol is up farm, Zoe picked up kills and kills for his team. That's the thing. The stronger team wins in the end.
And dropped the turret extremely low, sitting on 583 health. Very, very low. So they need to keep an eye on where this bottom lane goes. From the side of League of Hunters, Graceful Tank's going to be dropped down to a 3rd health. Going to have to dodge some of those tentacle slaps. It can be a little bit hard to see where they're going to be hitting.
Yeah, in the top, Graceful Tank holding his own against Alawi. He is down almost 20 CS. But once again, it's the tank versus bruiser matchup. The tank can afford to go low. It's like playing the hyper carry versus the lane bully matchup. If you're playing Misfortune versus, say, a Kog'Maw, it's okay as the Kog'Maw to go down a little CS because you're going to be more useful. You're going to do more damage in toward the late game, which is the same thing Sion's going to do. It's going to be more impactful than the Alawi unless the Alawi pops off.
Oh, and top lane, Graceful Tank is dropped! Beautiful ult from Alawi. She had 2 tentacles that already had spawned, and then ults to get a 3rd one to slam down again and again. So Alawi, as we were just praising Sion, is able to pick up a kill solo in the top lane. Fear 1 in trouble as the charm goes down, but he returns the favor with the fear. Now he's snared up. Terran ults are going to come through, and it doesn't land in time. And Jinx is unsafe. She's going to fall as well. Varus ultimate locking her up will be a double kill for Insane Butters.
So the first praise I will give to ADCs. Hold on, Tico Air trying to kill. Yep, and Sleepy Time land.
We'll watch the turret fall before Tarek. Oh, the shield barely keeps him alive, but that's still League of Hunters with the pressure. 8 kills to 1, 4,000 gold in the lead, turning on Ocean Drake. Brilliant Soul will trade turrets in the mid lane, so they will get a little bit back as Velkush, this has been playing solo this game, is able to push this lane out. It's 109 farm with 84 on Zoe, and got solo turret gold in the mid lane.
Yeah, I want to give credit where credit is due because I've been flaming all the ADCs today, but Insane Butters made that play possible. Perfect shot with the ultimate, snares up 3, enables the thing. He deserved that double kill. Well played.
Dumpko, I love the dab. That's pretty epic. I don't even know if that's meant to be, but I still like it. 1 kill to 8, 3,000 gold in the lead for League of Hunters. We'll see if they can keep this pressure on. Aurelion Sol has taken out his turret in the mid lane, so there's opportunities for him to roam now. See if he can get something back for his team, whereas it was Tico Air that was doing all the work for League of Hunters.
Yeah, currently Velkush. Oh, the ult comes in.
Ult from, or the Sleepy Time from Zoe's going to miss, and that's Fiddlesticks fearing and continuing to piece down that health, draining away Zoe. Insane Butters is, 1, 2. Oh, the heal from Nami keeps him alive. Bubble's gonna miss out, but Velkush able to walk away. Varus extremely low. Did survive. Can they? Oh, nice flash from Velkaz. The Charm still went down on Fiddlesticks. The Evelyn may be going down despite the ult. It's just a little bit too late. Ult from Nami to slow everybody as she and the Varus are able to escape. Fear 1 is low, but stays alive.
Yeah, very well played by Velkush in the mid lane, managing to continue to lay down those stars, forcing out 2 summoner spells, and eventually winning the fight. And it was the flash from Evelyn forced out as well, so that is definitely not a good summoner spell trade and not a good kill trade either. Khaleesi 3 up in the top lane, going to be spotted out by a ward, so Alawi is pinging for health. Flowers of Edo at full health, though not in great risk of dying. Diving an Alawi under turret with ultimate and tentacles around her is not advised.
A dangerous way to do things. I do have to give credit to IMS this game because did Zoe steal that?
Zoe, she didn't steal it. She missed the trouble bubble and it turned around and suicided into it.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Alright, anyway. I was gonna say 121 farm on the Jinx. Varus is just now catching up. Fear 1 finds a bit of a fear and a stun with that Tarek stun to be able to drop the Evelyn down to half. Heals a little bit while invisible. They're trying to take out the Elder, or the Rift Herald, I'm sorry. The ultimate from the Fiddlesticks keeps them alive for a moment, forcing 0-1-3-7 off to the side. Zoe is able to pick up the kill though. Graceful Tank trying to tank up. The Herald is still alive. Tico Air goes in, uses the ultimate, takes out the Jinx, but falls herself. It's a trade of kills. Now Graceful Tank has been killed, but has the zombie form to help take out Evelyn. And so across the board, a 3-4-2 in the bottom lane. Insane Butters doing work, will take out a turret of his own and catch up and farm against the Jinx.
Yeah, I don't know about that trade though. It's technically speaking, it is even. But if Insane Butters was there, they definitely could have wiped and gotten the Rift Herald. The bottom lane tier 2 is good. I don't know. If the ADC had been there, that could have been a game-shifting moment, though. Insane Butters probably should have been with his team right there, but does make the best of a bad situation, gets the tier 2 bottom lane.
According to this tournament, the meta is split pushing ADC. Because ADCs are consistently in solo lanes. Sometimes they do work, sometimes they just die.
Don't encourage it,
I'm not encouraging, I'm trying to explain. I don't understand it.
No,
But
it makes me
2,000
feel
gold
bad
lead
on the inside.
for League of Hunters, despite losing the fight. Once that Rift Herald is used, though, there's potential, if used well, for Cho'Gath Eats the World to be able to catch right back up in gold. The kills, though, still in favor of League of Hunters. There's the potential that they could take over the game, but they are down in overall objectives, and that's what Cho'Gath Eats the World is good at.
Flowers Vito just eating a little bit of a knock up there, but not dealing that much damage anymore, as he does have Death Stance under his belt, so he has so much sustained, he doesn't even care about damage at this point. Graceful Tank going in rather than breaking that tether on Test of Spirit.
What?
Loses over half his health for that.
Alawi's like, you want to let me just keep punching your ghost? Sure, why not?
And then he walks back forwards like, I'm gonna fight, and he's like, wait, no.
Zoe now going to throw her health off with the Jinx. Really insult. Just pushes everyone back, clearing those minions. Tarek still sitting with that Rift Herald. Keep in mind, though, the longer that he holds onto it, the less that he can ward, because it does take that warding slot. So he needs to keep an eye, and so many times I've seen supports drop Rift Herald that they meant to ward. I think the worst is on Lee Sin. He goes to ward hop and just starts using the Rift Herald, crushes the eye of the Herald. It's pretty funny time.
Yeah, Insane Butter's walking up. Not that much risk yet. Drowsy lands onto the Aurelian Soul. Insane Butters can continue moving forward and auto-attacking that tower if he wants to.
Oh, Jinx up here in the top lane, soloing against the Alawi. And it uses the ultimate, gets the slow. I Mensis, forced to flash away. Flowers of Eden, chasing him, but low on mana. Here comes the Evelyn, though. She should have the last little bit of damage necessary. Takes him out, but does get... Oh! That ult from Sion getting a bit of a harass onto the Alawi as well. Forces flash back underneath the turret, and Evelyn lives, walking around the side. Beautiful ultimate. Tarek, in the meantime, summoning the Rift Herald in the mid lane. It will be pushing in onto the second tier turret. So we'll get at least one slant. No, it's distracted by the minions. What?
Oops.
Alright, League of Hunters able to clear that one away. Vel, Kush, gonna try to 1v1 and Evelyn, and he is winning! The last star doesn't find him, but the Ignite does. Velkush takes out 037.
Okay, he died, but that outplay with the ultimate. Someone give that man a fish. I don't know why, but he deserves one.
One big bass.
Graceful Tank just missed the minion wave with his roar.
Alright, League of Hunters could try to pick up their second pick of the game. It is an Infernal. Chico Air comes to the mid lane, though, trying to harass these lawful minions. Khaleesi janking it up. He's actually pretty tanky. Gets a double stun onto the Varus. Drops into half. Returns the favor with an ultimate himself. Dropping Fear 1 very, very low. Forced to back away. Super Mega Death Rocket drops Insane Butter to half.
Yeah. Evelyn now moving down toward the bot side. They have the potential to pick up this Infernal Drake if they want it, clearing out the wards. They don't really have to because they have a control ward there. Flowers of Edo moving in onto Graceful Tank. No ultimate available for Graceful Tank, so really not quite sure why he backed off of that one.
I like the move from League of Hunters. They saw the middle six get extremely low, and now that they know that he's backing, that's when they go for the Infernal. Picking up the second pick of the game, 2,000 gold lead, still feeling good. But again, Cho'Gath Eats the World has consistently shown that their current players can outplay. And really my question is, when is Aurelian Soul going to arrive? 165 farm to the 118 on Zoe, and this is a unintentional pause. I think we've seen this a couple times tonight. This is just a little bit longer than most of the pauses beforehand. Then we'll get to talk about this beautiful game. There we go. Yeah. 7 kills to 12. When is Aurelian Soul showing up?
He showed up in a middle lane fight. But the thing is he hasn't been using Aurelian Soul the way Aurelian Soul is meant to be used.
It should be
Zoe
roaming
roamed more than the Aurelian Soul. That's a concern. As the Zoe, really Tico Air has just been outplayed, and it looks like Flowers of Edo moving in.
Oh, uses the ultimate, but catches the Fiddlesticks as well. Flowers of Edo gonna get a huge hit. Fiddlesticks maybe going down with one more tentacle slam, but Alawi falls just a little bit too early. So Fear 1 will be able to escape, and with his life, but that means the mid lane turret is
Evelyn
open
moving up
for
towards
Chase.
the top side though. Flowers, pardon. Fiddlesticks still low, could get assassinated.
I like Velkush going that Rod of Ages. It's taking him a little bit of time, but having that means that Zoe cannot one-shot him. Fear 1, down below, half. Evelyn says, I'll take that kill. Despite the fear, gets back on the turret with the ultimate as well, and could be chasing in onto Jinx. Zoe, in the meantime, continuing to harass these minions down. 037 wants a piece of the Jinx, waiting for the charm, but she's learned! Minigun form wins! Oh, praise everything. And that's what I mean, though. Velkush just took another Paddle Star from To Go Air, and it didn't completely wreck his health. Because of that Rod of Ages, Tarek here as well, giving some of those extra stats. Nami ultimate, knocks with the Aurelion Soul. Varus coming in. He finds the ultimate, though, almost missed, and they take out the Tarek. So one down. Varus is 0. They should get the mid lane turret.
Yep, that's the mid lane turret. Velkush cannot hold this without dying. Can he?
I don't know. It's Velkush. No. You don't want to doubt this guy, but To Go Air will be able to pick him off. So maybe it is time to doubt him at least once. And they get the mid lane turret, gonna get some harass onto the second tier turret. Baron is available, but if you know anything from both of these teams, it takes a while. Oh! Super Mega Death Rocket plus Fiddlesticks picks up 2. Fear 1 with a great play, pairing perfectly with that Jinx. Picks up 2, forces the Nami to flash as well. Good re-engagement from Cho'Gath to the world.
Yeah, Fear 1 showing up on this Fiddlesticks. He's been the bright point for Cho'Gath Eats the World right now. He needs to land a few more of that. And hold on, just as I say that.
Charm doesn't land onto the Fiddlesticks, but he still dies anyway.
Yeah. That's the thing about Evelyn. You think you dodged that skill shot and you're like, that's the no. If she lands an auto attack or any spell on you, you get charmed. So it's like, I suck at hitting skill shots. Doesn't matter, I'm just gonna jump on you.
Alright.
Feels bad, man.
2 members from Cho'Gath Eats the World backing away back towards the mid lane. They did get plenty of wards down around the Baron. League of Punchers we saw from last time that they played in the semifinals. They aren't the best at warding some of these major objectives. They're great at team fights, and they can usually use those team fights to then rotate into objectives, but they don't get that initial warding that gives them those advantages. I gotta give credit to iMenches so far this game. Has died 4 times, but really is doing a pretty good job of holding her own. Much better this game than we saw last game. Really feels comfortable on this year. Seems a lot more comfortable playing the same champion. We'll see if she gets banned in the next game.
Flowers of Edo.
Flowers of Edo, maybe being caught out here. The stars from Aurelion Soul slowly burning down. Uses the ultimate, but only gets 3. Blast Cone jumps everyone up to the same party and victory for taking out the Alawi. And that gets a little more gold back to Cho'Gath.
Yeah. Velkush taking a little bit low, but
that's Rod of Ages was such a good pick on him earlier.
Fear 1, it's like, I'm gonna ult, and then the Tentacle's like, no. Smack. Stop it.
Considered ulting. Tentacle said no. A lot more zaps from this Jinx being able to land, continue to harass Varus' health down. So at this point, with League of Hunters still 2,000 gold in the lead, as Fear 1, ooh, the Fear, he walks away, his little scarecrow legs feeding him back towards the base. Besides just trying to siege on the mid lane turret, what is their strategy plan?
Yeah, so right now, I'm assuming they're going to try and push out this mid lane. What they need is vision dominance on Baron so they can bait these guys coming out from underneath the turret. Right now, Insane Butters needs to start stepping up just like that and hitting the turret and walking back as soon as people start coming forward. So siege on the mid lane a little bit better, but Nami, Tarek ultimate, or Tarek stun, finds her, Nami is down, and there comes the Fiddlesticks as well, burning down Insane Butters. The Varus is home to teleport in from the side as well. He could charge and try to just ulti in for the next fight. 037 to the backside, looking for a flank, allowing grouping here as well. To Go Air should be able to hold mid lane a little bit. We'll see if Cho'Gath wants to go in. There's a little bit of wave clear on the Zoe, and she can't land it onto the backline minions though. This is a problem. However,
Jinx is splitting in the bottom lane. Oh, these ADCs split pushing. I mentioned goes to the bottom side, picks up another turret for Cho'Gath Eats the World. That is their 3rd of the game. Flowers of Edo pushing out the mid lane.
This is when Jinx dies because Evelyn.
Which Evelyn is down there. Evelyn goes in, gets the charm. Isn't it trade though? Uses the ultimate, drops iMenches extremely low. Zap just off to the side, but iMenches lives for the moment.
Yeah, but Evelyn has the speed buff and the stealth. I think Jinx is gonna try and recall. And then it's gonna be that. Yep, there she is.
Wait, is Jinx gonna sacrifice her Scion? But, oh, uses Super Mega Death Rocket, but it just misses. Now 037 on the run. Scion flashing forward, trying to get a last little bit. But Zoe's here. Sleepy Time has landed. And that's going to be the Paddle Star from Zoe. Takes out the Scion, flashes forward, picks up Dimensions' flash. So could flash again, doesn't even need to. And now Fear One on the run. His 3 members are going to find him out. Alawi hopping in. Use this Zanya's, but we'll still be going down. Perfect place charm from 037. Picks up that one. And League of Hunters says, you thought that was a comeback? That was just us taking a break. We're returning all of the aggression.
By the way, I've been counting. There have been 3 Super Mecha Death Rockets.
Wait, hold on. Insane Butters? Wow! Velker still showing prowess on this champion. Takes out 1v1 before sacrificed his life for the turret. And that's going to give a 5th one to League of Hunters and continue their gold. So, staying about the same at 2,000.
I don't think there's anything more tilting than the Scuttle Crab juking your skill shot.
This is why I play CC support, so I can hold them in place while my AD carry kills them. It can't run away if they're CC'd. Flashing forward from Malawi, using the ultimate. Gets Velkush pretty low. Here comes Evelyn. Turret ultimate down. Can they take the Immortal out? No!
Oh, the
Turret ultimate holds them in place, and the Immortal keeps them alive. And everyone for Cho'Gath is able to walk away for now. The pressure from League of Hunters still mounting. Will they go in for the aggression on the Baron? Or not. They still only have 1 ward there, and I think it's actually canceled. It is canceled by the blue Cho'Gath control ward.
At this moment, they know they should not go for the Baron because the Fiddlesticks ultimate is up. If they commit for this Baron, they have Graceful Tank's ultimate that can come through, the Fiddlesticks ultimate, the Aurelian Star coming through, and the Tauren ultimate. Committing to a Baron fight is not what they want to do, unless they've removed both Fiddlesticks and Aurelian Soul.
I love the Abyssal Mask pickup here from the Scion, just absorbing a lot of that AP burst from Zoe. And if you think about it, other than the Jinx a time or two, Zoe really hasn't been that bursting champion that you think just one-shotting everyone on the enemy team, because they've been building wisely with that. Even the Zanya's on Fiddlesticks will slow that down.
Yeah, so Insane Butter's playing very far forward, but I'm in the bottom lane right now, farming golems while his team groups mid and postures around Baron. That's all I'm going to say about that. Anyway, Insane Butter's at least grouping with his team. They're moving around the Baron, but they haven't cleared out the vision yet. They need to get over there, remove that control ward, and yes, that's exactly what they're doing. Now, the blue team should be moving up, and I think, yes.
They're going to go for a bait.
Cho'Gath eats the world, no vision.
Oh, they're getting the full in. Will we see the full fight coming down? That's going to be a Insane Butter taking out Terran. The rest of the team, Fiddlesticks trying to go in, get what damage he can. Forcing members of League of Hunters back. This could be the P5 win for Cho'Gath eats the world. They're taking out Nami to go air, the only one left alive. Paddle Star on him for finish against the Fear. This could be the full team ace from the side of Cho'Gath eats the world. And a beautiful engage leads them to Baron 4 versus 1. That was a huge, huge fight.
Yeah, it was a very poorly thought out fight. Oh, wow, that totally didn't hit. That's okay. Welcome to Zoe, people.
Well, Baron, not burned down just yet. Graceful Tank trying to zone, but he's going to take a lot of damage. There's no opportunities for Zoe, who burns her own flash. No, that was the secondary flash. All right, we'll go in. The Fiddlesticks gets the Fear and the heal, burning it down, but Zoe's harassment pushes Cho'Gath into the world away from Baron, so they have to walk away empty-handed.
Yeah, very good job by Tico Air. Otherwise, that becomes the game turning point right there. The thing is, they're not playing toward their win condition. This has been the problem perennially all day. The thing is that there is an amazing team fight comp from Cho'Gath Eats the World. So you have Aurelian Soul, you have Scion, you have Jinx, and Fiddlesticks. Also Tauren, who's no slouch in a team fight either. You know what makes that comp even better? Fighting in a dark jungle corridor where you can't see the backline threats, where you don't have wards in the enemy jungle. That was a perfect storm for Team Cho'Gath Eats the World.
This was the only ward they had
to
cover this entire area that they needed to be able to see. And so between those two brushes, Cho'Gath eats the world with a lot of AoE. The Fiddlesticks ultimate, Aurelion Soul Stars, rockets from Jinx were able to just pound through, and that takes down League of Hunters earlier. They are down 1,000 gold. There's still anyone's game between these two. It comes down to objective control and these team fights. The last two fights, Cho'Gath Eats the World has been doing fairly well.
Yeah, they don't need League of Hunters doesn't need team fights is the thing. They need picks. Their comp is a pick comp and a poke comp. So what they need to do is get a pick, then force their way down mid lane and just start shooting at people under towers. Varus arrows and Zoe
Paddle Stars.
Paddle Star things. Zoe Cancer. Throwing.
No. See, it's Malzahar that has the cancer.
No, Malzahar has AIDS.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sion coming in, we should talk about that. He did tell from the
Sion
bottom side they're engaging on Alawi, but this Squishy wants into 4 members. Squishy used her own up before she dies. No, it goes down way too early. Dark ult hits 4. This is the fight that Cho'Gath wants to win. This is Mega Death Rocket only going to hit Zoe. She's extremely low. Ults backwards. It goes right back into a stun from Derek. Beautifully placed. Silence on the bird.
Well.
I'm Menace looking for the kill. He's extremely low. Flashes backwards. Evelyn takes him out though. Varus has fallen. It's 2v5. The Evelyn is going to be stunned up as well. Falls Elise 3. Picks up the kill. Credit 4th kill of the game. 4, 2, and 11. And 4 members turn on to Baron. No Zoe harassment this time. It's only a Nami and she has to defend the mid lane turn.
Okay, can Nami stop it? The answer's probably no, but I'm rooting for her anyway. No, she's recalling. Never mind. Just chilling on a rock.
She's too innocent for that. Too innocent for that.
Speaking of which, they're killing a giant purple lizard in the Baron pit right now.
Taking them a while.
No chance for this to go. The Varus is dead, and you can see how much damage they have without him. Wow. Okay, so the Baron finally picked up by Cho'Gath Eats the World. Their team fighting composition. First team fight comp we've seen properly executed today. And League of Hunters is just playing into it. They keep running it down mid, trying for these team fights, but they don't want team fights. They want picks. They need to spread out the lanes. They need Alawi going top or bot. Alawi doesn't want to team fight this.
And especially because she didn't build tank. Look at her build, Rage Blade into Black Cleaver. She is going more of that damage route. If she's in a side lane, she can 1v1, maybe even 1v2. She can't 1v5. She walks in. The CC chains from Cho'Gath Eats the World are so good. We'll see if this is the fight, though, that they're able to win. Sleepy Time jumps out, lands on a Fiddlestick, and he will be stunned up, but they're backing away. Windrake on the table.
Yeah. The Cloud Drake, it would be very funny for the game-winning team fight to happen around.
Graceful tank to the backside, finds the stun on the Varus. This could be the fight. He gets another knockup. Fiddlestick is able to pick up 2 with the ultimate. He's done as well. The ultimate from Evelyn tries to keep her safe, but another star will find her. Aurelion Soul picks up 2. Double kill for him as well. It's Co-Air on the Zoe. Once again, the only one left alive. Tries to take out Fear 1, but the Paddle Star is going to miss. Windrake to the side of Cho'Gath Eats the World, and they are shutting League of Hunters down.
That's the snap. Will she be able to take the Jinx out? If this happens, they might not be.
Finally.
Yes, they do manage to take the Jinx out, and it's possible that they could stop this game from ending right now. Tico Air, the game is in his hands right now. I don't know if he can pull it off. He's going to try and clear the minion wave out, but they're so tanky. He's trying to cut the wave and remove it, but Graceful tank, he's too tanky. He's on the Nexus. There's just no way Tico Air.
Is this the end of the game? The Taric ultimate coming down. Ulting everyone, holding them for the save, but the rest of the members of League of Hunters is respawning. They're coming back out. Redemption coming down. The 4 members are good. Just blasting through Cho'Gath Eats the World. They took out both Nexus turrets, but it's not going to be enough. The Nexus continues to live. League of Hunters respawn in time and hold the base as they lose a mid lane turret as well. Massive gold streak to Cho'Gath Eats the World, but they have not ended the game just yet.
Yeah, that was really close, and they lost both Nexus towers and an inhibitor. They have to be so careful now about just the backdoor bum rush down bot lane. That was a lot of B's in that sentence, Jake.
Bum rush bot lane. To Co-Air in the mid lane. One of the members of League of Hunters that has to perform perfectly. 037 doesn't find the charm, just stops the back. before walking away. Fiddlesticks will still get his Baron-empowered recall, even though it got harassed out of him for a moment. 6,000 gold in the lead for Cho'Gath Eats the World. They're doing extremely well, and we'll see if they can win another team fight and finish it off.
Yeah. If Cho'Gath Eats the World does win a team fight, then they have a distinct possibility. Well, not even a possibility. They will win if they manage to get more than 3 kills. If they trade positively, they can end the game, essentially. And depends, of course, on who the members are that go down. Insane Butters picking up red buff. Everybody's just posturing for these team fights right now. They know it's coming down to the wire right now. Whoever wins this next team fight wins the game. Velkush over the wall. He's going to try and find a pick, but he's not going to get anything.
Just going to push the minions in a little bit further. League of Hunters. Evelyn had a pretty good opportunity on the other side to try to backdoor. Still hanging around.
What's he doing?
Signs the Jinx. Graceful tank engages immediately onto the Paris Mega Death Rocket, stopped by Nami. Turret ultimate coming down. We'll see how long it lasts. They're just bum rushing the Nexus. They're turning on. They've taken out Zoe. This is going to be the end of the game as Cho'Gath Eats the World will consume game number 1 versus League of Hunters.
Okay, just the backdoor bum rush through bot. Beautiful.
When you got a Tarek ultimate, maybe that's all you need.
All right, well done. And that is going to send us into game number 2.
Take a look just for a moment at these stats. Velkush 10, 3, and 13. Slow start to the game, but just had the damage when it counted. Great position with those stars. With the side of League of Hunters, their mid laner did so well early game, but just late game on this burst champion against so many tanks, couldn't find the burst against the members when it counted. Well, all right, we'll be back, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go anywhere for game number 2. We're going to take a short break as the teams switch sides, and then we'll be right back in.